Hello, everybody, and welcome. Good evening to all here. We're live on touring with us here. I thought I'd bring to you a brand new program called, of course, Community News with Nick C. It's not the official launch, but of course, I'm just trialing this out and see, of course, how many interest of the public we get out of all this. We do various kind of shows in different sort of shapes and forms, but of course, my name is Nick C. Of course, you can see it clearly on the screen at home. We will be playing you some exclusive videos from, of course, my recent edits from TikTok, and of course, my recent kind of videos that I put on there. Pretty much is what I'm talking about right now. Feel free to subscribe to the channel. I'll be here for about an hour or so, and we'll probably have some background music in actual fact. Let's play some really quiet acoustic music in the background to set the scene here. Yeah, and hopefully you can still hear my voice at the same time as we play background kind of music to really get the scene going here. Well, it's not a play, but of course, we're here to talk about community news here. So I will be talking to you live as well as, of course, playing you some videos for the whole show. So this is community news at a local level. It's not political. It's not taking sides. It's not talking about reform. It's not talking about Labour. It's not talking about Liberal Democrats. It's not talking about the Green Party, UKIP, or anything like that. And we are just community only, and we strive to promote the community to the highest order. And hopefully by this show, we'll get some interest here on the channel. That, of course, might be of interest to the public, and things that you don't notice about. The more you notice, the more you find. Hypnosis, a world-leading hypnosis, Paul McKenna once said. I will be going through a word for today, which basically means that word for today is coming from a magazine, which is Spring, May and Summer, I think it is, something like that. But yeah, it's United Christian Broadcasters, basically UCB word for today, based in Stoke-on-Trent. Spring 2025, February, March and April. Well, of course, there should be another one coming up for the summer very, very soon. I will have to check that out to be absolutely sure. So, yeah, I thought I'd, of course, share to you on this channel here, as we need more people tuning into us as ever if we can. We did have commentary earlier from the Chelsea and Liverpool game. I'll analyse that in just a moment as part of community here. And I would like to talk to you about the lower league football. If I can actually find anything about it here, that's what I want to do. Kind of like read any non-league, which is thorough non-league kind of results, which is what people sometimes want to hear. So, yeah, please do subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. We really do appreciate that. And of course, my name is Nick C here. And hopefully one day we'll have some guests on the show where you'll just have to come on the stream and just click the link. And it should work if you have a Samsung. But if you have an iPhone, use your Safari phone. I'm actually going to try and test this out right now. If I can, that is. So if I wanted to, of course, invite a guest by any means, I'd have to then copy the link and then, of course, go onto my Facebook or something like that. Or perhaps I could go to WhatsApp. Nick, and then of course I could just go onto WhatsApp on that sort of note. I will then be able to connect hopefully. It won't work through this way or something. Oh, yeah, maybe it will. It seems to do the trick so far. So all I've got to do is enter the studio. Just put music out and yeah, 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 okay. But I would consider a little bit more than a good idea. I would want it to be working on that. Right, okay. So it does work. So if you do it by WhatsApp. So yeah, I was just trying to demonstrate that, and it seems to work okay. If you go to WhatsApp, and of course perhaps you go to Facebook as well, it may work at the same time. Okay. So yeah, let's talk about the word for today, which I'll do. So let's talk about some community news here. Let's have a look. Guided tours at Bury St Edmunds here. Let's start with that. For those people who are watching on replay, I really do appreciate that. And we are talking about this little guided, of course, um, piece of paper, which of course can be found around. Of course, if you want to have a copy of your own and to read it to yourself, by all means, that would be a good thing if you could do that. So, of course, let's talk about the tour guides of Bury St Edmunds to start with here. We'll visit to Bury St Edmunds that couldn't be complete without a guided tour of the historic town itself of Bury St Edmunds, based in Suffolk and in East Anglia. And who better to show you around than the Bury St Edmunds registered tour guides and a highly trained team who have earned the right to wear the coveted blue badge or green badge symbols of tour guiding excellence. Touring the Abbey Gardens and the medieval town centre, we bring to life more than millennia of history, and they look forward to seeing you soon. The daily tours, of course, if you join one of their ever popular daily tours of the ancient abbey and historic town of Perth, to discover at least 1,000 years of history, from monks to martyrs to Saxon kings and to the queens, from talk. Sorry, I just can't read that last bit there. Talk Walls and Magna Carta to Georgian Chick and Mr. Pickwick. You'll find them all in Bury St Edmunds. The daily tours last at least 90 minutes and are suitable for all ages and abilities. To find out more, visit the website for more information. There are other tours available as well, which are if you're visiting Bury St Edmunds with your club, whatever that might be, family, friends, or colleagues, why not book a group tour with one of their guides? Think of a subject and they'll probably have a tour about it. Their themed tours include crime and punishment, wartime, Georgian, and Victorian periods, people and places in Bury, as in Bury St Edmunds. On the winter nights, they explore the darker side of Bury St Edmunds. On their ghostly tours and macabre tours with tales of ghostly spirits, foul murderers, and witchcraft. Or take in one of their armchair tours with a guide visiting your group to lead you on a tour without even leaving your seat. So that's Bury St Edmunds Tour Guides. To find out more, Bury St Edmunds Tour Guides.org. So there you go. Of course, I could actually put that up on the screen right this minute here. Let's have a look. Well, let's see if I can add the banner. There you go. So it comes up on the screen for you at home here if you want to have a look about the tour guides of Bury St Edmunds. Okay. Bury St Edmunds Tour Guides.org, which is up on the screen right this minute there. I will put that and leave that there for the future reference here. So, yeah. Let's talk a little bit about some of the fair trade places before I go on to talk about the word for today, ladies and gentlemen. I have to turn the light on in a minute because it's getting dark in this room. So, yeah, I'm going to have to lean down and read some of it. Espresso Cafe at the Arc at Charter Square, Holland and Barrett, the Butter Market in Bury St Edmunds, Oxfam, Cornhill, and Oxfam Bookshop, and Sunrise and White Stuff, which is at the Abbeygate Street of Bury St Edmunds, and of course number 4 Restaurant and Bar and Abbeygate Cinema, which is at 4 Hatter Street in Bury St Edmunds, the Pilgrim's Kitchen at Angel Hill, the Market Cross at the Market Cross Cornhill, and the Old School Cafe at St John's Centre, St John's Street, and the Waterstones Cafe, 36 Butter Market, and the Abbey Hotel, which is 35 Southgate Street, and Boots, 11 to 13 Cornhill, and Cathedral Shop of Angel Hill, and the Cook, which is 93 St John's Street, and Great Tree, which is 12 Butter Markets, and Tesco, the St Saviour's Interchange, and the Waitress, Robert Bobby Way, and the Co-op on Mildenhall Road, and the East of England Co-op on 8 Out Risbygate, and Sainsbury's Beddingfield Way. Tesco is St Saviour's Interchange, and the Marks and Spencer Shop and Cafe, which is the 23 Butter Market, and Greg's 11 Abbeygate Street, and Combat 2 Coffee at the 12 Guildhall Street, and the Apreto Cafe at the Arc Charter Square. So those are all the fair trade directories there in this leaflet here. Okay, that's the fair trade directory there. Okay, Bury St Edmunds Fair Trade Partnership. Okay, so there we go. That's that. What else can we talk about here? Great trips with great rates. Get more for your money in connection with Waitrose there. So there we go. Let's. I've dropped all the leaflets, I think. So yeah, let's have a look at some of the other leaflets if I can. very quickly. I'll squeeze in before we watch something else. Okay. This is at Hellingham, which we'll talk about at some point here. Yes, let's talk about Saffron Walden for a second here. I'll do that in just a second, in fact. Just bear with me on that one. And I have to turn the light on now because I can then see something here. In fact, I'll talk about Saffron Walden actually in just a little bit here. Okay, so bear with us on that. If there is a community that, of course, you would like us to speak about, please do come forward to us. That is what this channel is all about here. And, of course, community news. Of course, it's a good little program to have, actually, with Nick C on touring with Nick C. Exclusive to the channel here. We will play you some videos from the other day, and we'll cross over to the Regal in Cambridge very, very shortly to show you what it would have looked like as a dance floor. And yeah, I would say it was a memorable moment to look back and think back to the times before COVID. And obviously, COVID stopped the dance floor being filled up with disco music. But anyway, it's time now to get the scene going here. Okay. I think the music has stopped, has it? Should we play you something really calming? Let's play Night Driving here. There we go. That's quite sort of mellow, isn't it? Right, okay, group guidance, and this is what this is all about here. So we're talking about group guidance from the word for today. The Holy Spirit said, "Set apart for me Barnabas and Saul for the work to which I have called them." A group of believers met today and dedicated significant time to pray, fast, and worship. And as a result, the Holy Spirit said, "Set apart for me Barnabas and Saul for the work to which I have called them." How did they know the Spirit told them this? The passage doesn't say. It may have been a dramatic moment, or it may have been that later, looking back, they recognized that the Spirit had guided them. But what is certain is that they decided guidance from God together. When it comes to guidance, one of the mistakes we make is called narrow framing. We miss the whole range of options God has before us because of our limited thinking. A Christian author explains, we ask the things like, should I end this relationship or not? Instead of, how might I make this relationship better? Or shall I say this? Should I buy that or not? Rather than what's the best way I can use this money? On our own, we tend to suffer from confirmation bias. We seek out information that confirms what it is we already want rather than looking for the unvarnished truth. People watch cable channels that reinforce their political bias. We pretend we want the truth. But what we really want is reassurance of the positions we have already staked out. Isaiah told about the people who say to the seers, "Do not see," and to the prophets, "Do not prophesy to us what is right. Speak to us smooth things, prophecy, illusions." In seeking guidance, operate to the how, which is the HOW principle. In other words, be honest, open, and willing. And that's the end of the word for today, for the moment. Okay, what we're going to do is read you another one of these after the first video that we're going to do here. We're going to, of course, turn that off for a second. And, of course, we are ready to play this. Have a watch of this. I am pretty much live from Regal in Cambridge for a change. Basically, we are celebrating the fact that we've had ourselves, on each of us, one's had an bereavement recently and one was last year. Each of us have had a dad, right? Okay. And basically, of course, we all have to go through a bereavement at some point, and talking about it is the best remedy. And I really do apologise that I've had to shout here. It's because I'm in this sort of location here, right underneath where this very place we're sitting under is the old disused dance floor of the sort of time that we used to come here a lot, because the disco used to be here Mondays, Wednesdays, Fridays, Saturdays, and even on a Sunday they used to have a disco here. Have a look around here. I won't show too many people if I can possibly get them out. Let's flick the camera. There we go. You can see the dotted lights here, and there used to be literally disco lights all the way around here. So I apologise if I get anybody in the background here. You can hear how noisy it is anyway here at this Wetherspoons. And the DJ used to be literally over there. And it's got a little bit of information here on the board. Sir Ernest Shackleton here about the building, which is quite good. And that's who the guy that they're talking about is. I don't know if anyone can read that in Zoom mode. And this is my friend here, Spanner Brain. Is that okay to bring you on film? So, thought I'd ask anyway, it's politeness. And you can see what the speakers would have been like. Yeah, that's for her, yeah. Cheers, mate. So, yeah, you can see one of the speakers here, and this is what it would have looked like back in the disco days. couple of speakers all the way around there as well. Sorry.
Kevin said sauce.
Sauce? I've got to go and get some sauce. This is the old dance floor, where a lot of people used to dance on here as well. The sauces are over here. And some pepper? Want some pepper? Okay. No vinegar? Pepper and salt. Coming up. And no vinegar, which is all the way around here. That's the food menu. That's the gents' toilet. Hi. We're doing it for your father and my father as well. Kevin and Charles. I don't know why I got two there. I got two here. There's a disability lift there. There you go. Now,
Tell me when you eat that straight.
that's onion.
You eating that straight?
I can't eat that straight. I have to do it with something. That's coleslaw you've got there. What is that? Horseradish? Some sort of dip.
I don't know.
Some sort of dip. Anyone know in the comments what this is? Let us know. So what's unusual about these toilets here? I don't often mention toilets, but yeah, this is the gents where these gents are coming out here, and over on the other side is where the ladies are. Right on the opposite side, there is a disability toilet as well, and smokers can sit outside as well. So can you imagine the dance floor here? A shiny dance floor, and these were, as I say, the main speakers on the dance floor, and hell, it was loud. They used to have a DJ booth over there, but originally they had it where that seating is now placed there. So, okay, don't worry. Mine is going to be ordered soon. We are staying hopefully to the 11:45 bus. Right. That's just a one-off. I don't often do that. It's nice to celebrate that. This is Max. Thanks to this lady there. And this is what she's got. She's gone for a jacket potato here. Yeah.
What is it?
I don't know. I'm asking people in the comments what it is. You know, literally haven't got a clue. So basically, let's show people what she's got there. A little bit of onion, but it's a jacket potato without any butter on it. Did you get some butter with it? Oh, okay. It gives it a little flavour if you do.
I don't have it. You don't ask for some.
You don't have butter with it?
You asked for some.
Oh, I can get you some, but yeah, this is coleslaw to go with it. All right, I'm just saying the audience what we've got. So thanks for watching this video here, and remember where you saw it here, live at the Regal in Cambridge. If you've never been here before, come and check it out. They won't be having a disco here at the moment. I don't know if they're going to have it for the distant future either. So yeah, they want to change it in a different direction because of COVID, that kind of thing. So I would have liked to have videoed on the dance floor, but they don't have it anymore. Since COVID, they took it away. So that changed everything, didn't it? That's a bit of a shame. Otherwise, they would have continued with it. And they had to pay the DJs as well. But I've just got to go and get some butter. But Thank you very much for watching this clip from this date here, which is the 1st of May 2nd of May, Friday the 2nd of May 2025. Catch you soon. Bring back the microphone there. Yeah, nearly switched myself off for a second. But yeah, that was just crazy going back into the reminiscing times of possibly the 1990s or maybe actually 2008, when we had really glorious times there of the Regal. And I don't know how long they were doing the disco until, of course, they stopped doing it, basically, just as soon as COVID hit, and that just basically stopped it at the Regal. And then next door, this is what makes me laugh, I have still got a disco, so it doesn't really make sense. But maybe it's because of the travel, possibly that would have stopped it. But I remember in COVID, there used to be lots of lengths of people trying to get into the Regal because of the amount of seating, because of the social distancing. You just couldn't really possibly do it at that time. You know, I remember queuing up once to just get into the Regal, just to have something cheap in there. Eventually I got in, and of course, you know, the bouncers had to let us in because, you know, certain tables weren't sort of you know, be able to get through. And nowadays it's so much easier to get through. And let's hope this never happens again, because I don't really want to talk the politics side of it. And questions do need to be asked here, especially as we are a independent channel. But of course, we're not here really to talk about the politics side of things, but questions really do need to be asked about what really happened, because it was just totally unnecessary, because it caused queues up, it caused arguments, it just caused a complete row between people. And of course, people couldn't get in, and they were waiting outside ages and ages, just literally to get into the Regal. It just shows how popular the Regal can get. But nowadays, they let everyone in, as long as you behave yourself, obviously. These bouncers let you in and do a fantastic job. So, yeah, you can't ask for much more. But anyway, let's go and play some background music. Let's try and play a different sound here. Let's see if we can. I'll try and bellow my voice out a little bit more louder. Right, okay. Don't avoid, engage, or engage actually is the right word. If you're watching captions, I do apologize about that. So don't avoid, engage. As you sent me into the world, I have sent them into the world. Jesus prayed in John 17:14-18. I have given them your word. My prayer is not that you take them out of my world, but that you protect them from the evil one. They are not of the world, even as I am not of it. Sanctify them by the truth. Your word is truth. As you sent me into the world, I have sent them into the world. Excuse me. Where did Jesus dispatch his disciples? You might ask yourself. into the world. He didn't say, try to avoid the world. Just hang out with Christian people in the church and keep your distances from people who use bad language and are bad people. He says, being sent as a representative of God into your job and neighborhood, your circumstances, and your situations is why you're on this planet. He says, as the Father has sent me, I am sending you. We're not called out to avoid the world, but to engage it. You say, but I don't feel comfortable around such people. Then ask God to make you more like Jesus, who was known as a friend of sinners. Jesus told his disciples, I am sending you out like sheep among wolves. It takes two things for a sheep to operate among wolves. Courage, that's courage and wisdom. It also takes total commitment. Albert Schweitzer gave his standing as such a superb theologian and world-class musician to serve the poorest people on another continent. Whatever God has called you to do, it will involve people and giving yourself to them. That's the end of Don't Avoid, Engage on that section there. Right, okay, it's time for the next video here whilst I take a well-earned break for a bit. And we've got background music here. It's actually called Feeding the Ducks. The one we have had is Night Driving, acoustic cinematic, and of course we've had this one in the background, which is Feeding the Ducks. Right, okay, it's time to go to the next video here where we have a variation video. Watch this. On to Saturday the 3rd of May 2025. My name is Nick C. Here. I'm a community journalist around the east of England area of the UK, and it's now time to introduce you to some footage that I have taken in Essex. Yes, in Saffron Walden, the historical town of Essex. Now have a look at this because there's some exclusive content on here. Doesn't mean that it will be subscriber only. It's just that we like to put a bit of, free exclusive content on the channel as well. Take a look at this. First of all, welcome to the program, and look at this picture here. What I'd like you to do is actually look at the jar on the right hand side of your screen. Now if you see this poster anywhere in this coffee shop, then of course you could be a winner if you get it 100% right. 50p per play, and every 50p that you spend actually goes towards the coffee shop, which is named the Costa Foundation, full of beans. Okay, so all you got to do is basically guess how many beans there are in this particular jar. Can you guess it? I don't think I can get it at all. Well, maybe you can have a better idea than I do, because I'm not that greatly psychic on everything, especially when it comes to a jar like this. Well, I was travelling along and I happened to actually see this poster on this brilliant slogan. So here's what it says. You can see it clearly, hopefully at home or wherever you're watching. Pick one up and we'll fill it up. We want you to fill at home. So If you have a favourite type of cup, pick it up and we'll fill it with the delicious hot drink. Great slogan, I reckon, at this place. Yes, some of you got it right just for fun. That the cafe we took a picture of was the cafe that you're seeing now, which is Beresford Edmonds. And that's where I found that slogan, which was basically inside the actual cafe and restaurant, if you'd like to call it these days. Well, this is Hatchet Square, which, of course, I took a picture of the actual map, so it gives you an idea of the Arks Shopping Centre map plan. On our next picture, we'll cross over to Saffron Walden. Now, this is a lovely, spectacular sort of landscape view of Jubilee Gardens in Saffron Walden. And just to the right, you can just about see the bandstand. And further right, which is not in view, is the actual hub of the actual Jubilee Gardens, where I'm smiling away in the sunshine. And these Saffron Walden videos were actually taken from Thursday, the 1st of May 2025, when it was kind of like scorching heat. Well, it wasn't that hot, but of course it was really up to 25 degrees Celsius, and, just about tasting the heat, or actually feeling the heat. What we're now going to do is we're going to cross over from Saffron Walden, and we're going to take some slide pictures from Great Yarmouth, which Giuliani Buzz has now come home from. And of course he's got some pictures that he took whilst he was away about a week ago. It would have been something like the 23rd to the 26th or something like that. He came home on a Friday. Basically it was about 3 days away, and of course he stayed at the St George's Hotel, so we've got some slideshows of that, which is coming up right now. So basically, this is a screenshot of us talking on video messenger on the iPhone, and you can see myself with my hat there talking to Julian, and of course, we're seeing the view from Christopher's restaurant in Great Yarmouth, and it's pointing out towards the window of the new Britannia Pier makeover that has just recently been completed. This is the view from outside of Giuliani Buzz's window, which of course shows you what it was actually like. Now this is the bathroom. You just saw the shower there, and the sink and the toilet as per usual. And we now go over to the main TV there, quite a small one actually, but of course as long as it plays something and you're able to watch something. And there's a microwave and a fridge there, at least you get that. That's the main point of that, and a comfy bed to go with it. And of course the view of the main beach promenade of Great Yarmouth, and from the other side of the Britannia Pier, lovely sandy beach there. and the promenade where Rupert Lowe once stood for his photograph in Great Yarmouth. And of course another view of what looks like the bungee jump area of Great Yarmouth, but of course some beautiful weather there. And once again the beautiful sandy beach here. Whatever next? And of course, yes, another view of the promenade of Great Yarmouth. And this promenade we're talking about is Marine Parade. Once again, the sandy beach, and yes, it's all thanks to all the pictures that have been sent in by this gentleman here of all time, Giuliani Buzz from the Nice and Relaxing Show, as he actually sent in the pictures that came from the beach and all that kind of thing. The only exception, of course, was the photographs taken from screenshots from the video messenger that we were using to communicate from Suffolk to Norfolk. That, I'm afraid, is your lot for this particular video. We hope to do, whether you're watching on TikTok or YouTube. Oh, sorry, did I mention both? But anyway, yes, slight alterations with the name change, meaning Touring with Nick C. The reason why the change of Touring with Nick C, a lot of people will be asking the question. Well, the reason why the change is because I wanted to use my Nick C stage name on top of the touring name, so people know who is behind the creation of Touring. That is the main reason of using my Nick C name, as in stage name, for the Touring with Nick C. Hopefully you got all that, and it has already changed as of the 1st of May 2025 of Touring with Nick C. And Touring Extra will remain on TikTok, and also Touring Extra will remain on YouTube as well. We will put some content on the YouTube channels and the other platforms if we're able to. Okay? And of course, yes, we'll tell you more news of the YouTube change, which we are going to be having Touring with Nick C coming soon as well. So we have to do things in a small perspective, okay? Just remember where you heard that or saw that. Don't forget to subscribe on YouTube and follow us on TikTok and follow us on X as well, wherever you see us. Till next time, take care, and we'll carry on promoting community for you. Okay? And remember where you saw and heard that. And we'll be back before you can say the words. Are you back already? I'm getting an arm ache now, so I'm going to have to stop talking now. You're probably getting an earache as well. So catch you all soon. Take care. Always forget to put the mic on sometimes, but sorry you heard a bit of silence there. Well, it was quite relaxing to not hear my voice for a second. But anyway, of course, I do apologise about that. We got a bit of daydreaming music in the background, so yeah, I was on a daydreaming sort of mode. But yeah, it's Nick C here for your community news here with Nick C. If you've been watching live, we do appreciate that. Live from the studio of the Touring with Nick C, which of course this actual channel name will be changing at some stage to that name, and it won't be happening yet. We'll probably announce it. It may be happening in June or July, I don't know yet, but of course we want to do things in a slow sort of aspect there. So we'll be talking about Saffron Walden market in just a moment. Then we'll go on to the town trail. We thought we'd sort of play background music as I'm talking here, so otherwise it would be just like dead. It's like, of course, a cafe with no music on it. Right, okay, let's have a look at something first here. Right, okay. Let's have a look. What I'm going to actually do now, in actual fact, and of course keep you up to date with the Furlough Non-League Premier Division results. There was only one game on Sunday, the 4th of May 2025, at 3 o'clock. Downham Town 2 and Walshamley Willows 1 is a full-time result from earlier. And Tuesday, the 29th of April, we're going to go backwards in time here. 2025, 1945, Ely City 0 and Marchtown United 2. And Saturday, the 28th of April, 2025, at 3 o'clock, Downham Town 3, Ely City 0, Fakenham Town 0, and Walshamley Willows 1. And Monday, the 21st of April, 2025, at 3 o'clock, Bramham Athletic 6 and Hadley United 0. Downham Town 2, Heacham 1, Fakenham Town 2, and Deering Town 1. Malbarton Wanderers 2, Holston Town 2, Sheringham 1, Great Yarmouth Town 3, Soham Town Rangers 2, Ely City 0. Stowmarket Town 3 and Kirkley and Pakefield 2. Thetford Town 3, Lakenheath 0. Walshamley Willows 0 and Cornard United 0. 0-0 win awarded to Walshamley Willows. And on Saturday, the 19th of April 2025 at 3 o'clock, Woodbridge Town 6 and Long Melford 1. That was on, of course, Monday, the 21st of April 2025 at 3 o'clock. This is Saturday, the 19th of April 2025 at 3 o'clock. Conrad United 0 and Woodbridge Town 6 and Dearman Town 5. Stowmarket Town 0, Ely City 0, and Sheringham 0. And, of course, 0-0 win awarded to Ely City. Great Yarmouth Town 2 and Downham Town 1. Sorry, Downham Town 2. So it's Great Yarmouth Town 1, Downham Town 2. Hadley United 1, Thetford Town 2. And Holston Town 1, Walshamley Willows 1. Heacham 0 and Soham Town Rangers 3. Kirkley and Pakefield 1 and Bramham Athletic 3. Long Melford 0 and Fakenham Town 4. And Saturday, the 12th of April 2025 at 3 o'clock, Bramham Athletic 3, Great Yarmouth Town 2. And Hadley United 1 and Fakenham Town 5. Kirkley and Pakefield 3 and Conrad United 1. Long Melford 1 and Ely City 4. Sheringham 0 and Holston Town 3. Thetford Town 0 and Soham Town Rangers 1. Walshamley Willows 2. Downham 2. That's Downham Town 2. And finally, Woodbridge Town 1. Deering Town 1 on that day as well. And Tuesday 8th of April 2025, 1945 kickoff. Hackney United 0 and Melbarton Wanderers 3. Sheringham 1. Soham Town Rangers 0. And Stowmarket 0. That's Stowmarket Town 0. Fakenham Town 1. And Wolstonleigh Willows 4. And Heacham 0. So that's the official fixtures and, of course, the latest results that we have found on the official website of the Eastern Counties Football League, the Thurlow Nunn League, which is brilliant. So, of course, let's have a look at the fixtures. The fixtures yet to be announced. We need the fixtures. So, yeah. Doesn't seem to be saying anything about the fixtures at the moment. Let's have a look. There must be a site out there that deal with all this. Well, it's the Eastern Counties Football League. That doesn't come up with any other, as far as I know. It's very difficult to find. Match fees, referees. So yeah, it's interesting, of course. A referee would get at least for Premier Division and League Challenge Cup referee £50 plus, assistant referee £40 and 40p per mile, and the maximum mileage is 200 miles. So it's that's the travelling expenses. Okay. And in the First Division and the First Division Cup, £50 plus, £40 assistant referee, 40p per mile, 120 miles. So if you go 200 miles, of course, First Division and First Division Cup is the same price as the Premier League. And the Youth League and Youth Cup, £35 for a match referee, and assistant referee is £27, 40p per mile, 120 miles. So that's the cost of referees. So that's interesting about that. That's really, really fascinating information regarding that information. I never knew that before. So yeah, it's really, really fascinating. Right, okay. That's what I'm talking about. So, of course, there we have it. What I can say is that, of course, I've only found one site that actually talks about the Thurlow Nunn League. But, of course, you have to go to the actual clubs to find out officially what the fixtures are. But there's no actual fixtures being updated on this site. So, yeah. Well, there's just nothing there that we can actually. We can see some of the results have been updated, but not many of them. So we can only apologise about that. And it's out of our control on that note. So, yeah, it's now time to talk a little bit about the Saffron Walden market. Okay. So the heart of the shopping since 1141. Yeah. So I'm just sorting the music out at the same time whilst we. So the Saffron Walden market, the heart of the shopping since 1141, and the marketplace Saffron Walden in Essex CB 101HR and saffronwarden.gov.uk for more information. I will at some point put the actual websites on so that, of course, you can check them out yourselves. Okay, welcome to their market here. There has been a market at Saffron Walden since 1141, adding to the rich heritage of the actual town itself, as well as its character and identity. The market provides a hub for a supportive community of traders, producers, local shoppers, and visitors. Market days are as follows: Tuesdays and Saturdays, with a Tuesday being traditional and Saturday being a more of a cosmopolitan feel. Shoppers also enjoy browsing and buying goods from a number of different market stalls, which vary from week to week, including fresh fruit and vegetables, plants and flowers, and clothes and fresh fish, and health foods, olives, and other Mediterranean foods. Jewelry, silver, and vintage and retro fabric and household items, and both practical and decorative fashion, as in fashions, hats, and footwear. So on Tuesdays, Borough olives, antipasti and olives, fruit and veg, hats, gloves, socks and scarves, slippers, shoes and boot stall. Quite nice clothes. Ladies fashion specialists and cashmere. Vacuum cleaner, spares, repairs and reconditioned. Crystal waters, traditional fishmongers and smokery. Mystic moon, crystals and incense. Brown bread, that's bread, cakes and pastries. Saffron Whole Foods eggs, especially foods local produce, etc. Also, Tambers pints and jewelry. Ladies Italian clothing. JLS watches, watch repairs. And Hunt's fabrics. These are all on Tuesdays, by the way. And Sutton View nursery, plants. And granary store, pet supplies. And condiment cupboard. And Giggly Pig. And Saffron Walden Coffee Company, specialist coffee. Richer Spirits, which is spirits and liquors. And on Saturdays, Ippingham and Saffron Walden flowers, fresh cut flowers. Saffron Grange, locally produced wines and totally cultured. fermented squirt rot, and Borough olives, the antipasti and olives. Fruit and veg, hats, gloves, socks and scarves, slippers, shoes and boot store. Quite nice clothes, ladies' fashion, specialists in cashmere. And Crystal Waters, traditional fishmongers and smokery, and brown bread, which is bread, cakes and pastries, and a cheese stall. And Saffron Whole Foods, which is whole foods, especially or speciality foods, local producer, etc., etc. And tablets, prints and jewelry, and JLS watches, watch repairs, Sutton View Nursery, plants and granary store, pet supplies, ladies' fashion, which is Italian and French clothing, and condiment or the condiment cupboard, and Giggly Pig and Saffron Warden Coffee Limited, specialists or specialist coffee, and rich spirits. Yep, richer spirits, limited spirits and liquors, and Pasta Negra, Spanish deli. That's all on Tuesdays and Saturdays at the Market Square, or actually it's called Market Place, which is near King Street and Crown Walk and Empton Close, all in Saffron Walden. So we're now going to be talking about the Saffron Walden Trail, and of course, we're going to talk more about the community stuff soon. We've been talking here for an hour here. We won't go any further than an hour or so talking about community stuff, because it will be quite a long kind of show if we were ever to continue. So we'll do about an hour and 15 to an hour and a half each community news show. And if there's anything else to add to the program, then we will try and add it here first on the program. Please do subscribe as usual. And we are looking for a sponsor. If anyone is interested in sponsoring our channel or our show of community news with Nick C on touring with us, then please do subscribe to the channel itself. So the Saffron Walden Town Trail, the illustrated map, guide to places of interest and short history to Saffron Walden. Visit saffronwarden.gov.uk. Now let's talk a bit about this little section here, the Alms houses, Park Lane and Abbey Lane. The earliest Alms house was built in 1400 by a charity by John and Elizabeth Butler. The building was in the form of 2 country yards, each with 10 dwellings. After 1633, the building fell into despair, and those now grouped in the Park Lane and Abbey Lane were built in 1834 and are replacements and extensions of the original. Now we talk about the Audley End House and Gardens. Built by Thomas Howard, Earl of Suffolk, Lord Treasurer of King James I, Audley End is one of England's most magnificent stately homes, with over 30 lavishly decorated rooms, interiors by paintings and furnishings. Explore the capability, brown parkland, 19th century parterre, and the organic walled garden, which is the kitchen garden, stables and service wing. Now we're talking about the Audley End Miniature Railway. The Audley End Miniature Railway is an exciting 1.5 mile train ride through the Essex countryside, perfect for a day out with all the family. Spot the many teddies in their teddy bear houses around the track, or try and find the fairies and elves through the enchanted woods. That's audleyendrailway.co.uk. Now, the Baptist Church in the High Street. In 1774, the Baptists split with their fellow non-conformists who worshipped in the Abbey Lane Independent Church. They brought an orchard to prevent the site and built the first Baptist church there. The present church was built in 1878 to 9, and the latest addition is the glass door with the saffron crocus design. In front of the church is the town's war memorial. The Common and the Turf Maze. The oldest of Saffron Walden's open spaces, the Common, is a meadow on which the local people had grazing rights, and it was also used for such events and tournaments. On the eastern side is the largest turf labyrinth still surviving in Europe. The path winds for about 1 mile through the turf within the circle of 100 feet. That's a staggering 30.5 meters in diameter. At the Friends Meeting House at the High Street in Saffron Walden, the Quakers still gather at this meeting place in the High Street where they first met in 1676. The meeting house was altered many times over the years and was rebuilt in the 1870s by the Gibsons. Battle ditches now. The medieval earthwork, popularly known as the Battle Ditches, is the surviving SW Saffron Walden corner, visible today, linking Gibson Gardens to the Abbey Lane of a large rectangular circuit enclosing the medieval town area. The course of the ditch, now mostly buried, has been traced around much of the town through the archaeological excavations over the years. It is perhaps best preferred or referred to as the town ditch, and was eventually a Norman and medieval boundary maker. Now the Saffron Screen we talk about now. Saffron Walden's independent not-for-profit cinema, open every Friday, Saturday, Sunday and Monday, with additional screenings in school holidays. The cinema shows a range of mainstream independent art house and children's films, as well as a wide range of live special events. Opened in 2006, it has a comfortable 200-seat auditorium with a wide screen and full surround sound, refreshments and free parking. SaffronScreen.com. The Saffron Hall we now talk about is an award-winning 740 staggering seat performance space within the grounds of Saffron Walden County High School. The Saffron Hall hosts an annual season of concerts and events featuring local, national and international artists. Opened in November 2013, which is 2013, and a 10 million hall 10 million hall has a much praised flexible acoustic and state-of-the-art facilities that surpass those of more established venues. SaffronHall.com. And finally, we speak about the United Reformed Church. Situated at Abbey Lane, the place of worship is another of nonconformist groups. The United Reformed Church was built in 1811 as a congregational chapel with an iconic four-column portico. It replaced the original church of the 1694, which in turn was built on the site of the barn where the congregation first worshipped. For details of opening times and any other information, contact the Saffron Walden Tourist Information Centre on 01799 524 002. That's 01799 524 002. That's a Sutton Warden Tourist Information Centre. So we will now close the show with saying a huge thank you very much for those who have watched here and there on the live. I know I have been seeing a lot of people been watching here and there, and we appreciate your support on this channel. If you are watching or have been watching on the replay, we also really appreciate that. And make sure you subscribe and like and share, whatever you like to do. Share to your neighbours all about what we do here on this channel. I hope you can hear me loud and clear here. Thank you very much indeed for watching. We're going to leave it at that so you can have a bit of peace and quiet now. Yeah, we'll turn it off. Yeah, there's no way of fading it. We just have to suddenly turn it off. But anyway, thank you very much here. You have been watching via StreamYard, and of course, you have been watching on Touring with Nick C, which is what we are now called, but we're still going to be called Touring until we change it to Touring with Nick C. But once that is changed, then of course you'll be smothered with great content, and we will continue to strive in that sort of direction as well. More you notice, the more you find, and more we notice, the more we find as well. So don't be put off by that. And also, another word here, you always get more of what you focus on in life. So you get more of what you focus on in life. So we are focusing on the community news. So if there is anything to shout about, we will bring it to you here on this channel here. Bless you for watching. Take care. And yeah, just enjoy the rest of your time here. And I'm sure that you'll do that honourable thing. We'll leave you with the countdown to finish off with the show. And take care till next time. Bye-bye.